Welcome back to this exploration and deep dive into the book What Happened to You as a guide and contemplation within the context of traditional yoga and meditation. I hope by now you realize that I am covering just a few of the key points in each chapter just to pique your interest and want to read the book. In this chapter, I will focus on what Dr. Perry describes as understanding how our patterns of stress can influence our regulation and how this is key to understanding that what happened to you is connected to your health across all domains, mental, physical, and social. In the practice video, we will explore movement and breathing practices to help reduce an overstimulated stress system. Yoga is a holistic system for overall health. There is much research showing how yoga helps reduce inflammation and regulate cortisol. Too much cortisol suppresses our immune system, thereby leading to inflammation. Inflammation is elevated when we have a heightened or sensitized stress response system. Research shows that a regular practice of yoga increases the level of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which is a protein that acts like a fertilizer for the brain, stimulating the formation of new brain cells. New brain cells increase the likelihood of new experiences and habits. This cognitive improvement also helps counter depression and anxiety. One such study was conducted at Boston University Medical Center as a randomized controlled trial, which is the gold standard in research. They found that one of the mechanisms through which yoga improves mood is by increasing the activity of the GABA system. GABA is an amino acid neurotransmitter, and a low level is considered a contributing factor in mood disorders. And there is a ton of research showing that meditation, like we do in these practices, enhances and creates new neural connections in the brain. Pretty cool, right? Okay, now moving on. In this chapter, Oprah says there is a difference between thinking you deserve to be happy and knowing you are worthy of happiness. I think this further explains what she started off saying at the beginning of the book, which is where she says, we come into the world with an innate sense of wholeness. We don't start out asking, am I enough? Am I worthy? Do I matter? When we give ourselves a chance to slow down, listen inward, and reconnect, such as we do in these practices, we give ourselves the opportunity to re-experience and remember that innate wholeness. In the practice video for this chapter, we will be doing some standing poses. These build our strength and recharge our energy. When we feel our strength in our bodies, especially using our legs, we give our brain and nervous system the message that we are safe, we are firm in our foundation, and we can be fluid and dynamic to respond to the inevitable fluctuations that will occur around us as well as within us. Dr. Perry says that your individual relational health, meaning your connectedness to family, community, and culture, is more predictive of your mental health than your history of adversity. He also emphasizes that the timing of adversity makes a huge difference. If the first 2 months of life include patterns of inconsistent, unpredictable stress, this often leads to a sensitized stress response. He then describes the power of brief, positive caregiving interactions. These can be as little as a few seconds. If the interaction is fully present and connected, it can have more meaning and power than 1 hour of therapy. The key here is that the interaction needs to be rewarding, regulating, and bonding. For this reason, I encourage you to find a partner for at least the end of the practice session. Reprogramming and creating new neural pathways toward freedom and away from fear or unworthiness is not something that happens to us by thinking or talking, but rather it happens through us and requires surrender, what the Yoga Sutras term Ishvara Pranidhana. While we can't undo what has happened to us by practicing deep surrender, we come back to remembering who we are, spiritual beings having a human experience. For those interested in the translation, the term Ishvara means supreme being, ultimate reality, nature, God, or highest self. Pranidhana means fixing. This sutra means making each action an offering to something higher than ourselves. Now, if this doesn't resonate with you, then just think of how these practices can help you stay healthy enough, mentally as well as physically, to help those around you. It's also worth repeating that we cannot give to others what we don't have within ourselves. Remember, this chapter is all about understanding how what happened to us affects all domains of our lives. If If surrendering seems too challenging or scary because, let's face it, our ego or sometimes our trauma wants us to hold on to patterns and habits, then let's remind ourselves that remaining fixed in our mindset leads to limited life experiences. Surrendering to what will be, while this requires trust and connection, it will ultimately lead to freedom.